How do you get over a girl? Time heals everything. You never forget, and you never get 100% over it, but sometime in the future you will go 24 hours without thinking about her, and you won't even realize it. And then you will go a week, and then eventually a month as life goes on, and you will be just fine. I'm trying to salvage and work on a 9-year relationship. I love her more than anything, boo. She wants space now. I don't know what to do. Don't just give her space. Use this time to work on yourself. Make yourself a better person. Read books. Go on adventures. Eat healthier. Exercise more. Write in a journal. Pick up a hobby. Focus on yourself. Period. No excuses. This is 100% true. It'll hurt at first, but you'll move on over time. Keep your head up, and you do you. Then you'll learn to be happy alone, and we all know you can't make someone else happy if you're not happy. Wise words on being happy alone from you/Tick Fiddler. How do you think I found happiness alone? Make new rules. Count them. For example, 1. Don't pick up the phone. 2. Don't let her in. 3. Don't be her friend. If you're inside of her, you ain't jetting over her. Dua Lipa, is that you? No. It's her evil twin. Made in a laboratory by Wendy Williams. Dua Peep. John Cena. Do 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 do. Can someone answer how do you get over a guy that you liked for a long time but never dated because neither of you would admit how you felt and now has gone? By learning from your mistakes and making sure it never happens again. That's why I'm pretty open and upfront these days. Make sure people know your intentions within a few weeks. Not much. A mistake for one could be a right mark for another. People are strange. It's been 5 years, my dude. Every relationship since then has felt bland for me, so I have no idea. Getting towards 3 years since my ex, and I still feel the same as the day I met her. Not sure what to do at this point, honestly. 10 years. Married. 3 kids. Am 100% in love with my wife and she's everything I want. Doesn't stop her visiting my dreams still every year or so. Usually with a long talk. The first love is a wild thing, man. She was my second real love. Thought she was the one. I was young and stupid. We still talk occasionally on very good terms. I'm debating if I should tell her how I feel or just try to cut contact cause it's hard to live with. I will say this. Every girl I had a relationship with came out of the woodwork and contacted me when I posted about my engagement. Most trying to make last-ditch efforts to get back together. But this one gave me a 4-hour conversation. All of which culminated in an F. Scott Fitzgerald quote she shared with me that explained the situation to me perfectly. There are all kinds of love in this world, but never the same love twice. I think it's 100% true, and I learned to never seek to match that love with anyone, but to file away its scent, flavor, feel, and unique memory away. No shame in fondly remembering the past while embracing the present and future with everything you have. If it really is over, cut all contact immediately. Delete X from Facebook. Remove from Phonobook. Don't torture yourself by checking that stuff. Every time you do, you will put the healing process back a notch. Do not end up in the awful position where X knows that they can still text you, and you will still offer emotional support. If you end up in that position, said person doesn't have to commit to anything and still gets the best of both worlds. It's like an instant friend zone. You will not enjoy that. This stuff is easier in theory than it is in practice, but you do need to find some way to withdraw from the situation. Ultimately, that will help in focusing your efforts somewhere else, i.e., on a positive new relationship, which is generally the thing that will 100% get you over the breakup. Good luck, sunshine. If it really is over, cut all contact immediately. I can't stress how easier things became when I cut ties from one of my exes years ago. Still getting over my ex of 6 years. One night of drunken tears I deleted her from FB and blocked her on Snapchat because I realized seeing memories of her hurt. I'm still in pain, but 100% seeing her name appear every time in my chat list hurt. I still have to get around deleting all of our pictures together. Right now I just avoid them. Lots of people have said you never truly get over it. It's true, but at some point you should be able to recognize that the yearning is just nostalgia now. This person is part of your story and that helped shape who you are today. Cutting of personal contact and social media is key, but I'd caution against deleting the photos. Time. Boring, but true. It'll take time, yes, but you also need to go out and do things. You can't just sit in your room and cry. You need to go out and do things that make you happy, like hanging out with friends, going to see a movie, etc. I would if I knew good movies or had friends. Everything is either overcrowded or on lockdown. I can't go anywhere and am bored and lonely. My career is looking bright, but my social life is empty, and after so many months it's eating at my mental health. Good advice, I mean that. But with this lockdown it's of little use, because many can't put it into practice. Kids, and devoting 6.5 years to someone that was overly jealous of me, even texting someone to maintain friendships. It left me in the same boat. Best thing that keeps me going is telling myself there might not be anyone here now, but I'm getting prepared for when they are. Devoting myself to finding what my interests are alone. Getting in better shape to feel well when I can go out. Keeping up with current events that aren't tailored to what her interests are, while I find what I like as singular entity. Maybe you'll run across people with those same interests. Search for the positive, and we might all come across it. Trampoline. This is correct. Joke's on you. He typed guillotine. Calm down there, Monsieur Robespierre. Sometimes the end of a relationship is like the death of a loved one. Sometimes you don't get over it. Sometimes you just soldier on. And sometimes your mind has to bury them to be free again. Had to do this a few times myself. You were somebody before you made loving her part of your identity. Just gotta find what you did that made you happy before she came along and made you happy for you. Yeah. But what if nothing made you that happy before? Gotta find something new. Wouldn't you like to know where are your parents? This kid's shady. Sketchy. In all seriousness, just remove everything that reminds you of her from your life. Unfollow her. Delete photos, texts. Try to avoid communication. If you don't want to permanently delete those things yet, just move them to a place where you can't easily access them. After that, just lift heavy weights. Hang with the boys and try to find another girl to get with. And fap. Terrible idea. Just don't focus on anything sexual. Regain total independence. If you fap to try to forget someone, you're just associating the two and incentivizing thinking of them later. Yeah, and then you think of them while fapping, and then you're all sad, and I can't do a sad fap. Not with that attitude. I throw myself into video games. Some people throw themselves into work or the gym or some new hobby. Really, anything that distracts you for even a little while. So long as it's not purposely destructive like drinking, drugs, or overeating, will be good here. Step 1. Take some time to wallow in it. Don't try to get over it instantly. It's okay to feel terrible for a bit. Step 2. Pull yourself together and arrange some closure. Become fully functional. Fake it to whatever level you need to get closure one way or another. Burn all your mementos of them one by one, if that's what works for you. Step 3. Get back out there. Even though you don't want to, flirt with someone. Go on some dates, and do not talk about your ex, or allow yourself to think about them. Focus on this person and what's good and or bad about them. Step 4. Make the conscious effort to open yourself up emotionally to a new person. Think about their flaws. When you have a crush on someone, you tend to ignore all of their flaws. So truly think about who they are, and usually you'll realize that you were blinded. Just listen to Return of the Mac. Link. youtube.com/watch v equals ub1d9wwxd2w and list equals rdub1d9wwxd2w and start_radio equals 1. This song cures all heartbreak. Do the hand motions Mark does for extra effect. This one did it for me. Give it a little time though. Play it too soon, and it doesn't have that effect. Also, Post Malone, goodbye. Would I be a hypocrite if I gave you advice when I actually need advice on the same topic? If yes, this will be a note to self. Factual advice. If you are asking this question, she probably doesn't want you, or she doesn't want you as much as you want her, right? Why would you want to be with someone who doesn't want you as much as you want her? There are plenty of other women out there who would love you. Just wait for the right one. Giving advice is easy, following your own advice is hard. Source: me. My friends call me the forever single matchmaker. Hang out with friends. Start talking to other girls. Focus on her shortcomings. When we really like someone, we often put them on a pedestal and only see the positives. By looking at their negatives, it can help us to see that they're not perfect after all. I go on and off with feelings for this girl. I find that not texting her, making an effort to keep her text thread buried on my phone, and not checking her social media to be the best way. Out of sight, out of mind. Take her off the pedestal you built for her, bro. Deep down she's just like all the other chickens. Sometimes you don't. I would argue that many never really do. That hole in your psyche is still there. It may be covered up by scar tissue and not hurting anymore, but the deep wounds just don't close up. Your existence changes and you just get used to the new normal. It's been 2 years. I still don't know. 3 and still arguing. Ghosts. Create a new routine and stick to it. Go to work. Go to the gym. Fill the space with a hobby. Just go to the pawn shop and buy a cheap guitar and let YouTube teach you. Reconnect with people you haven't talked to in a while. Go for a methodical walk. Gotta start somewhere. I have a friend who goes through a horrible breakup every 9 to 18 months or so. After the last one, I told him flat out that post-breakup him was bullshit. He got super pissed, and I don't think has forgiven me for it yet. But it's what he needed to hear. We are not defined by anything except who we are, not who we are with. Do shit that'll take your mind off of her. Minimalize free time so you don't think about her. The less on your mind, the easier it is to get over it. The next bus will arrive shortly. Be ready for it. Deleted. Best way to get over someone old is to get under someone new. 100% do not agree. This actually leads to a lot of failed relationships. When I broke up with my fiance, my buddy told me exactly this. All it led to was comparing every girl I slept with to my ex. I'll have burned bridges, as well as feeling worse about myself with every girl. Did you ever end up moving on from your ex? If so, how did you finally get over comparing every girl to your ex? By improving yourself and building confidence, and dating other girls. It's really that simple. Love yourself first, then open up to other people. Really soon that girl is in the rearview mirror and you are loving life in the now. Jump. I took this entirely differently. Maybe in just dark, but I thought you meant jump as in commit suicide. I need to take a break from Reddit. Don't look at her Facebook, Instagram, Snap, etc. Delete old photos of / with her and spend time with your friends. Cry if you want. It helps. Time heals all wounds. Provided you are productive with it. Focus on yourself. Things that make you happy. Things you find interesting. Things that make you grow. Don't just fill it mark time. But remember, the reason to do anything is for yourself. Not to win someone back or other such nonsense. When you are ready, focus truly on yourself and reflect on the relationship. Were there things you could have handled better? Why didn't it work out? And most importantly, was she actually that great? Hormones can do crazy things to you, and later, when the emotions don't run so deep, you can think much more clearly about it. Then, once you are satisfied with yourself, or if nothing else just sure if yourself, you can focus on others, but be selective on who those others are. While everyone is worth it in theory, in practice they often aren't until they have sorted themselves out. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.